Today's topic is sensitive, and I'm particularly addressing all the women in the world and our daughters. It is about the strength of silence. What do I mean? The strength of silence comes with feminine power. As a woman, especially when you are alone, your greatest weapon is not always physical strength. There is a kind of strength a woman is born with, unseen, the wit. It is a mental capacity for thinking and reasoning, being quick and sharp. This is innate. It does not require books or academic training. But women have suppressed it, or society has forced us to suppress it. Nowadays, through chaos and noise, it is overlooked, even ignored. Listen. The greatest battles in history were not won with noise, but with strategy. Women have mastered this across time, across cultures, across stories. That is your wit, your wisdom, your silence, your patience. So where am I going with this? I'm talking about survival intelligence. Look at what is happening in the world today. Femicide, domestic violence, rape, and other harmful acts against the female gender. Now, let's look at ancient women who used their feminine strength to achieve their goals. Ruth, Mary, the mother of Jesus, Eve in the Garden of Eden, Abigail, two controversial women, Delilah and Jezebel, and then comes Cleopatra. But today, we are analyzing one particular woman, Esther. Precision under pressure, a survival strategy in a dangerous environment. We have educated and spoken about getting justice against perpetrators, but we have left out something important. How do you pull yourself out of the situation? Before the victim gets to safety, how do they navigate danger and buy time? Because when these atrocities are happening, in most cases, the victims are alone and isolated. Today, let's learn from Esther. And over time, I will continue analyzing each ancient figure and how they navigated their situations. Let's look at Esther's strengths. Obedience. She followed instructions from Mordecai to hide her identity. Not every truth is safe in every environment. Sometimes, revealing everything can be used against you. Patience. She waited for the right time. She adapted to her surroundings but did not lose herself internally. Discernment is protection. Being informed. She learned her environment. Esther observed the palace culture, built favor with those in authority, and understood how decisions were made. This is called social intelligence. There is a Swahili proverb, Ukienda kwa wenye chongo, vunja lako jicho. Or, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. In modern terms, become a fool to fool the fool who is fooling you. Read the room. Understand power dynamics and influence. Sometimes, survival is about information before action. When Esther learned about the threat against her people, she did not immediately confront the king. Instead, she called for a fast. Not just to cry to God for help, but to control the situation. How? Her influence as queen allowed people to listen and obey. If someone else had called for a fast, they may not have listened. The fast silenced impulsive reactions. During fasting, less talking, less noise, less movement. In that silence, Esther grounded herself emotionally and spiritually. She did not act in panic. When fear hits, pause, center yourself, compose yourself, create clarity before your next move. Esther took a calculated risk, not a reckless one. She went to the king uninvited. She positioned herself and waited. She stood in the inner court where the king could see her. Based on cultural posture and royal protocol, this likely meant lowered posture, head slightly bowed, showing humility, respect, awareness of authority. Stillness. She did not move or speak until she was acknowledged. She made herself visible but not threatening. She respected the system while challenging it. By lowering herself physically, she communicated, I am not here to attack. I understand the rules. I come in peace. This reduced the king's instinct to react defensively. She let her body language speak first: humility, calmness, control. In high-stakes situations, your presence determines how others respond. She allowed the king to initiate the power dynamic, waiting for the golden scepter, waiting for permission, waiting for protection. She controlled the energy of the moment. No panic in her movement, no desperation in her body language. Even though her life and her people's lives were at stake, she approached with composure. Calmness can disarm tension. Not every situation can be avoided, but when you must act, do it with preparation, do it with awareness, do it with timing. When the king asked her request, she did not say everything immediately. She did not expose the problem right away. Instead, she invited the king and Haman to a banquet. Then she waited again for the second banquet. What does this mean? She controlled the pace of the conversation, built curiosity, and created a setting where she had influence. Now this becomes very real. There are moments, especially as a woman, when you may find yourself in a situation where you need help. You are exposed. You are not in control of the environment, and how you position yourself matters. Not every situation calls for loud resistance. Some moments require composure over panic, awareness over reaction, positioning over confrontation. Let's continue. Why did Esther invite Haman? At first glance, it feels strange. Why invite the very man who is the threat? But this was one of her smartest moves. She brought the problem into the same room. The king, herself, and Haman, all present. This removed denial, miscommunication, manipulation behind the scenes. Haman could not twist the story later. She allowed the king to observe, not just hear. By inviting Haman, she created a situation where the king could watch his reactions, sense the tension, feel the shift in the room. People do not just believe words, they respond to energy and behavior. She isolated the influence. Why only Haman? Because he was the source of the danger. Too many people and the focus is lost. Instead, she made it personal, focused, and avoidable. Deal with the core issue, not the crowd around it. Now, her emotional intelligence. Esther understood something powerful. Influence is not just about truth. It is about timing, emotion, and connection. She worked through relationship, not confrontation. She created calm, intimate moments. She reminded the king, I am not just a subject. I am someone you care about. She built emotional openness before speaking truth. The king was relaxed, attentive, pleased. Only then did she speak. People receive difficult truths better when they feel safe and connected. She made it personal. Not there is a political issue, but my life is in danger. That changed everything. From ruler to protector, from authority to husband. She did not manipulate. She understood emotion and worked with it wisely. She leaned into his love, created closeness, activated his protective instinct. Then came contrast. The woman he loves is in danger. The man he trusts is responsible. That emotional clash created clarity. She allowed the king to arrive at the conclusion himself. She revealed just enough. And when people feel something for themselves, their response is stronger. Why does this matter in real life? Do not rush to expose everything at once. Timing matters. Choose your environment wisely. Understand the emotions of the person you are dealing with. Bring clarity, not chaos. What Esther did was powerful because she combined silence and timing, emotional intelligence, strategic positioning, courage at the right moment, discernment, observation, information, humility, and respect. She did not just speak the truth. She created a moment where truth could not be ignored. And sometimes in life, especially in danger or high-stakes situations, that is the difference between being dismissed and being heard. Esther did not lift a finger to fight her enemy. In her silence and her strategy, she won the battle. So, to every woman listening, if you have ever stayed quiet in danger, if you have ever observed instead of reacting, if you have ever chosen silence over chaos, you were not powerless, you were strategic. Stay aware, stay wise, and trust your wit. Stay tuned and share this video to save a life.